Now that Dumpy Don has reined in the Third Reich, the neo-Nazis are more emboldened than ever. But they're figuring out the hard way that when you leave the keyboard and fuck around in public, you find out. And luckily, the young college kids are still practicing the old arts of hating Nazis. This exceptionally punchable face is Kenneth Leland Morgan, and because he has brains of mush, he decided to show up in a bar dressed as a Nazi. This guy spent a lot of time and money acquiring a historically accurate Nazi officer's uniform, and something tells me he didn't do it for Halloween. But don't worry though, justice came for this man quick and swift. Even though we don't have a law against being Nazis like the Germans do, we do have laws against assaulting women on the streets, which this guy does in a video I'm about to show you. He hits a woman with a beer stein, which is just the final piece of his costume, you know, since he's going as a giant piece of shit. Join us here at Really American for the news that MAGA does not want you to see. Now, I just want to say for the YouTube censors, there's no gratuitous violence here, there's no blood or anything like that. This asshole just shows up to cause trouble at a college bar, which will be relevant later, and was immediately kicked out, but didn't leave without first attacking a young woman.
Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out!
Don't touch him! Don't
touch me! Get the fuck out!
Don't touch him!
Nobody here is fuck you! What the fuck you?
This is terrible.
What the fuck is your problem?
Is this serious?
Oh my god!
No, I have no idea. We're seeing you in the second. No.
Now, really quick, I just wanted to add that this man, Kenneth, is 33 years old. And if you couldn't tell, everybody else in this bar is like a college-age kid.
Yo, are you in my accounting class? Yeah!
I am closer to college age than this Nazi loser, who's only going to a college bar to be the closest he can legally get to children. It's creepy as fuck, but of course, we're talking about a man who thought everyone was going to clap and cheer at his granddad's secret uniform here. Here's a different angle after he hits the woman, and you can see that this girl in the white shirt is just such a badass. She goes after him and was on his ass from the beginning. For whatever reason, it's the women in this video who are confronting the Nazi here. I mean, definitely not a good look for any of these dudes who are standing here doing nothing and watching this Nazi just like parade around. But considering the amount of college-aged men who voted for Trump, chances are that there are a few Nazis standing on the sidelines there too.
Get the fuck off! Fuck you! Hey, fuck you! Fuck you! Go home!
You can see that he like scampers off at the end here like a coward, but don't worry, he was caught. These right-wing domestic terrorists are getting more and more comfortable as the days go on. Mind you, we aren't even a year into the tyrant's term. And while I expected some Nazis to worm their way up to the surface, I didn't expect them to be such snowflakes. I mean, this guy is so scared of a group of women who are rightly yelling at him that he hit one in the face with a glass mug. What a fucking coward. MAGA has been especially sensitive in this second term, clutching their pearls whenever they aren't treated like special little babies. But luckily, dark woke is here, and people in the real world outside on the streets in these protests, they are not having it.
Whatever his name was?
Charlie Kirk, ma'am?
Yeah, him is horrible. Horrible.
Charlie Kirk is horrible?
Yes, I'm glad he's not here.
You're glad he's dead?
Yes.
Why would you say something like that, ma'am?
Because he was horrible on the campuses, the college campuses. Horrible person.
You know what? I do the exact same thing.
Well,
would
so
you be
sorry.
glad if I would die?
Maybe. I'd have to think about it.
You should be ashamed of
You
yourself.
should be ashamed of yourself.
Your friend just said she'd be happy if I died.
I think we need to.
Conservatives will laugh and mock and bully you to your grave, and then dance and shoot up your gravestone. But the second you tell them that you're not falling to your knees because of a tragedy, all of a sudden they look at you like you're a demon. Listen, we don't advocate political violence here, as a tragedy would happen to Charlie Kirk. But at the same time, the Constitution doesn't say anything about mourning someone you hated. They're the ones that got rid of the decorum game. We're playing by their rules now. Because despite how mean the left is being, which I am all for, there isn't nearly as much violence coming from the left as there is the right. MAGA and even the mainstream media are pushing this idea that the left is becoming this massive terroristic threat. This is a headline from The Atlantic that made waves when it came out. Left-wing terrorism is on the rise. For the first time in more than 30 years, attacks by the far left outnumber those by the far right. These sorts of reports are the justification for Trump to label all anti-fascists as domestic terrorists. But in reality, this headline is insanely misleading. By July 4th this year, far-left extremists had already been responsible for 5 terroristic attacks and plots. So this big rise in leftist domestic terror, they mean going from 0 to 5, which is still a fraction of how many right-wing domestic terrorist attacks there are. The Trump administration has been desperate to hide the facts from the American public. Here's an excerpt from a report that was taken down during Trump's first scrubbing of all DOJ and official websites. It says, in fact, the number of far-right attacks continues to outpace all other types of terrorism and domestic violent extremism. Since 1990, far-right extremists have committed far more ideologically motivated homicides than far-left or radical Islamist terrorists. Terrorism has many different definitions, but I think all of us could agree that one of the core aspects of terrorism is like random. Being in public and attacking random people. The assassination of political figures like MLK, Charlie Kirk, etc., those aren't random attacks on the public. Categorically different than, say, what happened on the exact same day as Charlie Kirk, when a neo-Nazi walked into an elementary school and shot 2 students. That is domestic terrorism, randomly attacking the most vulnerable because of the political belief that white supremacy should be the governing philosophy of the nation. And yet the Trump administration is sweeping all of that under the rug and pointing to a couple of burned Teslas as an excuse to send actual terrorists dressed as police officers to harass, arrest, and attack regular citizens.
Leave him alone! Leave him alone! No! Leave him
Grab my phone. Officer, if you're letting this happen, you're just as much the fucking bitch. Where am I going? We have to go to get him out. You can check my papers right here.
Mind you, this man was a U.S. citizen who committed the crime of not identifying himself during a Kavanaugh stop. I mean, it is bizarro world out there, folks, now. So remember, when push comes to shove, you can always punch a Nazi. And if you do, be sure to send it on over to Really American to receive all the praise that you deserve, but only if you subscribe. I'm Tony Hinderman, and I'll catch you next time.